What's up, guys and girls? Welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the power of hope, breaking down how strong it is, and if Kratos still has it in God of War Ragnarok. First, I realized I went through a couple of days without posting anything. There's nothing dramatic about the reason. I was just playing Horizon Forbidden West, I'm just going to be honest, and working on a new project that I hope will be out by the end of this month or the first week of March. I'm really excited for this project I've been working on. Anyways, here are some of the answers in the last video's trivia question. I think everybody got it right. I admit the last trivia question wasn't hard, but it was a setup for this trivia question as a follow-up. This video's trivia question is, in God of War 2, there was a small section of gameplay where Kratos had to protect someone. If they took too much damage, that person would die and you had to restart. This gameplay section happened at least 2 times. Who was Kratos protecting? Type your answers now and you have a chance of being in tomorrow's video if you get it right. And while typing your answer, smash that like button for me. We gained over 1,500 subscribers in a week, literally because of you all hitting that like button in my videos. I'm being honest when I ask for you to hit it. It gets the video pushed around more on YouTube. Let's get right into the video. First, what is the power of hope and how strong is it? The power of hope is an emotion that Athena locked inside the box that was around during the Great War. Stig, the director of God of War 3, was asked about the power of hope and what exactly it was. Now, I'm paraphrasing, but I'll put the quote on the screen now. He said, when Kratos opened the box to kill Ares, hate and fear went out into the world. Zeus was affected by fear. He then says when Kratos got over his guilt, that allowed him to find hope, and hope will always overcome fear. Here is Athena's explanation in the game on the power of hope.
When Zeus gathered all the evils and placed them in the box, I dreaded what would happen if it was opened again. And so, I summoned the most powerful weapon in the world, and I placed it in the box. When you opened the box, you released the evils to the gods. Infected them. Changed them. Zeus himself fell prey to the dark evils. This is why he became so enraged and obsessed with your death. He was consumed by the evil, fear. I thought the power I placed in the box was never released. All these years I assumed you drew from the evils inside to destroy Ares. But I was wrong. The power you took from the box is mine. From it, you gained the strength that Zeus could never destroy. A strength great enough to overcome fear. Locked deep inside of you, Kratos, is hope.
So how powerful exactly is the power? To understand just how strong it is, we have to understand the flame of Olympus. Athena told us in God of War 3 cutscene that the flame of Olympus will destroy anyone who touches it. She said this a few times in the game. Even Zeus would be destroyed if he touched it. But in a description in the game that talks about the flame of Olympus, it says, death awaits all who touch the flame, god or mortal. However, the power inside pales against that which is protected in its core. And of course, we all know that was hope, since again Stig says that hope will overcome fear. Now that you know how powerful the power of hope was, does Kratos still have it within him? Here is a section of an interview with Cory Barlog, and he said this.
People say, oh, why didn't you name him Deimos? But I mean, if you know the story of what's going on, that's a pretty painful memory for him. So to look at his son and say Deimos every time would be way too painful for him, I think, to keep bringing that up. And then he would never name it after a hero or a god. Like, he doesn't idolize any of them. But to idolize somebody that actually stayed positive, that had hope, right, is so antithetical to Kratos, but actually so much of giving you an insight into his inner life right? That there is a desire, that little bit of hope that he didn't give to mankind, that he left inside of there, but locked way deep inside. So, but after that, the writers had come into my office and said, I have an idea, I have a pitch. And the pitch they gave me was literally the exact line that we ended up using.
Corey said he does have hope inside of him, that he didn't give it all to humanity. A little bit of hope is in him. Now, I'm not going to ignore the criticism. People who watch this clip interpret it as two ways. Some people believe he's talking about Kratos having the emotion of hope still inside of him. Some say the actual power of hope he's talking about, but in my mind, he's talking about both. The emotion and the power are connected to one another. I think his words are very straightforward here. He is saying Kratos gave hope to the mortals, but he still has a little bit inside of himself. We see in God of War 3, he literally gave them hope instead of handing it over to Athena. I think hope itself is power, as much as fear is power. So I do think hope is inside of Kratos. Although small, it's still there, and I think his actions represent that as well. Kratos does have much hope for his son. How many times during the game he said, gods must be good, we will be the gods we choose to be, you must be better than me, I will be better, things along those lines. I think he is very hopeful, maybe not for himself, but Atreus he is extremely hopeful for. And I think that his personality kind of changed during the events of God of War 3 as he was destroying the gods. He's much different after he unlocked hope and destroyed Zeus. He was looking out into the world calm after Zeus was destroyed. When Athena was talking to him, Kratos responded, "Look at the world. What good is your message?" I'm paraphrasing, of course. And throughout the entire series, Kratos is always saying things like, I don't care about the mortals and their suffering. I just want to get my goal complete. I will have my revenge. But at the end of God of War 3, he seems more concerned with the world and what it looked like at that state. Then we see Kratos do something he rarely does throughout the series, and that's doing something selfless as he gives hope to the mortals. And this is strange because he is always doing something selfish, something to push his own goals forward. Here is Cory Barlog talking about that.
Every other game, like every other God of War game, Kratos goes out to do something bad and inadvertently does something good, right? He releases hope to mankind. He removes predestination, right? The Sisters of Fate, right? He kind of destroys a very controlling polytheistic set of gods and frees mankind from this control, right? But he's always out doing something super selfish and just totally dickish, right?
Yeah. I think Kratos' personality kind of changing from the blood-hungry monster to the selfless father. I think these are pretty cool concepts that all stem after he killed Zeus, after he unlocked hope, and after he gave hope to the world, still keeping some of that hope inside of himself. I do think that he still has the power of hope, although it's very small, and I do hope maybe we get to see it come out once again. But Kratos is extremely overpowered. I also want to mention that Kratos didn't really have a way to beat Zeus. We saw it in things like God of War 2, Kratos stabbing Zeus constantly with the Blade of Olympus, and Zeus was not going down. Especially in God of War 3, where Kratos did massive damage to Zeus with the Blade of Olympus multiple times, but Zeus would not go down. Kratos didn't really have a way to beat him, and then when Zeus entered this spirit mode, Zeus did kill Kratos at that time. Stig did say that as well. But that's when Kratos found hope and easily destroyed Zeus, as the painting that I showed earlier in this video showed that. Again, the power inside of the box is stronger than the Flame of Olympus, and the Flame of Olympus can destroy anybody just by a simple touch, god or mortal. So I think that this is so very cool. I hope we get to see the power of hope once again resurface in God of War Ragnarok. How cool would that be? But those are my thoughts on the power of hope. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm going to be out of here. Thank you guys and girls for listening. Deuces.